bit of a hybrid class. We're going to do a little bit of weights. So if you've got them, optional, but I'd like to add in a little bit of lower body weights today. And then we're going to get into 30 minutes of core strength. My name is Dara. I am a physical therapist as well as a strength coach, yogi. So I'm going to give you guys some injury prevention tips as well. So just be safe. Listen to your body. Always modify as needed. That's the goal for today. 30 minutes. We got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. If you've got weights, bring them. Not needed, but I'd like to add in a little bit to our warm up. So I've got some 10 pounds, dumbbells, kettlebells, etc. So join me. Subscribe to the channel to get notifications. I host live class every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Join me. Full body strength class today is going to be a little bit of a hybrid. But if you need some core strength, you want to get some more defined abs, you want to just get more stability, support for your lower back, etc. You need some core work. This is for you. All right, let's start off in an inhale, reach to the sky. Let's just warm up. So we're just gonna do a quick, easy yoga warm up. You do not need to be super flexible. This is just to get the body moving, release any tension. We're just gonna go through a quick stretch series, just working out all the little tight spots, etc. Just checking in with our body. Reach to the sky, reach your feet into the ground, crown of the head to the ceiling, tuck the chin in, work on that nice tall spine, nice good posture here. Ears over shoulders, reach. And then exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down, hang out here, shake it out, release any tension, knees are soft, no stress on the back. This should feel really nice on the lower back, knees are nice and soft, shake it out, release any tension. Just noticing what you're feeling here. We're starting off super easy, mellow, we'll speed it up. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back here. We're gonna do a little bit of a squat in our warm up, and that's about it for our weights today. So if you've got them, bring them, not needed, but suggested. Hold it here, hinging at the hips. This is your hip hinge. Bracing with my abs, straightening out those legs. Get a nice little hamstring stretch here. Tuck the chin in, one more breath. Hands come down, plank. We do have some planks in our warm-up today. Get ready, a little bit of upper body strength. Always nice to add in some upper body. It's an easy strength, and guess what? Planks does it. You don't need weights for that. Tuck the chin and pull, push away from the floor. Hold it here. And then knees down, slowly lower elbows at your sides with control. Squeeze those shoulder blades down your back. Stabilize that lower back. Pull the shoulder blades down. Little baby cobra coming up here. Nice little mellow spine extension. Again, shoulders out of your ears. Hold it here, one breath. And exhale back down. Just going through the sun salutation A sequence, super easy. Modify as needed. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. That is the whole flow. If you are like me and you've got tight calves, this should feel like a good stretch. Let your heels drop. If they're not touching the floor, that's okay. Mine are not either. Pedal your feet out. Give your calf and your ankles a nice little stretch. I love my downward dog. It's a great way to work out some of that tightness in the calf and the ankles. Pedal the feet. Flatten out that upper back, spread your fingers wide. We're gonna go through the sequence 2 more times. We're gonna speed it up just a little bit. So that's the whole thing. I do this in almost every class, right? Nice little easy yoga warm up. Should just feel really nice on the body. Walk your hands back to your feet, round 2. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time, head coming up last. Articulate through your whole spine. Inhale, reach to the sky, round 2. Nice big inhale. Exhale, forward fold, bring your arms all the way down, shake it out, release tension, speeding it up just a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, straighten the knees, hold it here, hip hinge, abs are braced. Hands come down, plank, number 2. Tall plank position, spreading those fingers wide, pushing away from the mat. And then exhale, you can do knees down or you can go all the way down, chaturanga, control, upper body strength, right? Uncurl your toes. Push yourself up. You can do this little baby cobra if you want to come all the way up into this nice up dog. As long as this feels good on your spine, right? I don't want this to feel pinchy. I want it to feel stable and supported. So think about bracing your abs just a little bit here, a little bit of tightening the abs. And then again, retract the shoulder blades down your back. That's going to engage your lats, and that's also going to help to stabilize and support your back. Hold it here, one breath. Exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. We've got one more round like this. This should feel good. I love my yoga. A little bit of strength, a little bit of flexibility, mobility work at the same time. Relaxing. Walk your hands back to your feet last time. Then we're going to come into our chair pose next, which is our squat. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time. If you've got the weights, get ready for them next. Again, optional. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back, hands come down plank, strong, tall plank here, away from the mat. Exhale, lower, either knees down or all the way down. Work those shoulders. Uncurl your toes. Last two here, coming up into this nice cobra or up dog stretch. Stabilize the back, pull the shoulder blades down, retract. Last breath. We are moving on. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. I lied, let's do a little bit of push-ups. Before we get into our chair pose, before we finish out this warm-up, let's do a little bit of our plank. So I want you to come down into, or up into downward dog. Does that make sense? I don't know. So downward dog, and I want you to think about really driving your booty up high to the sky. Now I'm gonna give you guys some options here. So if you wanna just hang out in downward dog, I'm gonna give you two options. One is you can just rock forward into plank, and then back into downward dog. Now if you wanna make this a little bit more spicy, I want you to bring that right leg up, lift, and down. If you wanna make it even more spicy, I want you to lift that right leg up and I want you to pull it up. Crunch, pull that knee up. Right, so I'm gonna give you guys options. Now, if your shoulders, your wrists need a break, please take a break, roll them out, come back in. This class is for you, I'm just your guide. So push it back, crunch. Inhale, or down. Or you just go like this. Right, you got options. Wanna make it a little bit more spicy. Pull, we're gonna do a few more here. We'll roll the wrists out, we'll roll the shoulders out, and then we'll switch to that other side. Challenge yourself. Again, a little bit of obliques. Maybe you wanna bring that knee across instead of up the middle. A little bit more obliques, bring it to that elbow. Two more. One more time. A little bit of challenging. Come down onto your knees. Let's roll the wrists and the shoulders out. Again, sensitive wrists, I get it for downward dog and for these positions. So I want you guys to either double up your mat or just do a little bit more wrist mobility work. Again, some of it just takes time to get your wrists adapted to that pressure in that position. Or if you need to take breaks, right? All right, let's do the other side. And then we're gonna finish with our chair pose, air squats, and finish out our warm up and get into our series. Again, if you want to make it spicy, add that leg. Use the breath. So we're gonna finish out our warm up with our chair pose. Again, chair pose is your squat, right? So a great way to work on hip mobility, knee, ankle mobility, also a great way to work on some lower body strength, right? Squat, one of my faves. Bring it across, a little bit more obliques. We're gonna finish with some obliques and some deep core work today after we do these squats, AKA our chair pose. Next, last few. Also a great way to work your shoulders here, right? Little upper body, this plank. In 3, in 2, and 1. All right, walk your hands back to your feet, come into standing chair pose. Find your stance that is comfortable for you. If you've got weights, I'm gonna grab my 2 dumbbells. Again, I'll show you some options. First with no weights. So if you don't have weights with you, that's okay, we're just doing chair pose. Find your stance. A lot of us have tight hips, so you might need to step a little bit wider or feet turned out. Again, we're all built differently. I want you to root your feet into the ground. So number 1, pinky toe, big toe, heels. This with the toes up, that ain't it. You need full contact. This is your base of support. I'm gonna sink back into my squat, right? And I'm not gonna let my toes come up. I'm gonna keep them planted. I want you to think about drawing up your arch first. That should help to pull those knees out, engage that booty. So I'm gonna give you a side view. Again, I like to cue flat back, right? As I sit down and back into my chair pose here. So start with these. If you've got weights at your sides, you're just doing your squat, right? Eyes looking forward a little bit down onto the horizon, opening the chest, just like we started off with our cobra. I want you to squeeze those shoulder blades down your back. Now, I'm gonna cue a flat back, but it's really neutral. But for a lot of people, what I'm just trying to get out of it is they're not arching their lower back here, right? So a little bit of abs, bracing, a little bit of abs turned on. Again, starting from the ground up. My feet are planted, my 3 points of contact. Pulling my shoulder blades back. Eyes looking up or down a little bit below the horizon. Abs are braced, sinking down into my squat. Everyone's squat is gonna look different. You might look a little bit more like this. Somebody might look a little bit more like this. And if you don't have the weights, let's do a little bit of an active chair pose. Work on your mobility, right? So depending on what you're doing, if you've got the weights, you can work on some strength, right? Even lighter weights, you're still gonna be building strength by adding weights. Now, if you don't have the weights, again, it's a body weight squat, but I would challenge you to work on some depth. So use this as more of your warm up. Like, I need to get my hips opened up a little bit more. Go lower. This is a nice, safe way. I give this a lot to my athletes. That's just your warm up, your air squat, right? Work on that depth without collapsing, sinking, keeping control here. Few more here. Whatever, if you got your weights here, my goblet squat, here, here, tons of options, right? Some of that's gonna just depend on what weights you have and what feels good on your body, right? Everyone's squat's gonna look different. Your depth, etc. Last few here, and then we're gonna take it down onto the floor. We've got some core work, and that's it for today, 30 minutes. Bam, done. 2 more. Last one. All right, done with that. Let's come down onto the mat. Let's do a little bit of cat-cow just to get that back nice and supple. Hands and knees position here. Arch and tuck. We'll finish with a little bit of glute work in this core series today. So core is everything, it's not just abs. We're gonna start off with a little bit of a spicy obliques. And we got some deep core, and finish with glutes. A little bit of everything today. Friday, we're gonna do a little bit different. Again, I try to rotate the workouts. We don't need some crazy moves. We just need consistency and hitting all the targets, right? So not just crunches the entire time and not just planks. Finishing out, nice easy cat-cow. This should feel nice on the spine. 2 more just like this. You need supple joints as well as strong muscles, right? All right, come on to your back. We got our first move. We've got a little bit of obliques. Spicy but easy. You don't need your weights for this one. Trust me. Thank me later. All right, so we got our ankle grabs. One of my favorites. I want you to start with that chin tucked in, coming up here, tightening your abs, and just reach to those ankles. This is our first move. We've got 3 moves, 3 rounds. That's it. Stretching, done. We've got a lot to do in 30 minutes. Again, you do not need a lot of time to get in some really solid core work. And you also don't need a lot of time to get in some really solid strength training, right? That's the beauty with strength training. You don't need hours of cardio. Maybe you need an hour or 2, whatever. Strength training, you get in some really targeted sessions, 30 minutes, maybe less, a couple times a week. You will get the benefits. And the same thing with core work, even less, right? Because we're working on a smaller group of muscles. So come to my class, subscribe to the channel. You can pick, I've got a ton of other core workouts in my core playlists. Look through them, add them in, add your own, have fun with it, make it a part of your life. Consistency is king and queen. Consistency for everything. So we got our little spicy oblique work here. Again, you should feel this on the sides. I know I do. If your neck is getting tired, you can have your hands here. This is a small movement. Side to side, it should burn. If you're doing it, it's the good thing about this one, you kind of can't do this one wrong. So some of these, it's like, it takes a lot of cueing, like our next exercise. This one, man, even if you're not listening to me and you just follow along, you're gonna do it right. So I like this one. Okay, so let me stop blabbing. Let's finish out here. In 4, in 3, in 2, in 1, relax. Now, if you've got your weights for this deep core exercise, you can do this. So I'm gonna come up, squeeze, and scoop. Now, if you are having trouble keeping your lower back pressed down as your legs get away from you, I would suggest you shorten up the movement. Don't go all the way. Now, if you want the weights, the only thing I'm just gonna add here is I'm just gonna add a weight hold like this. And again, more challenging is the weight's gonna be behind me, right? So you're gonna feel that try to pull on your abs more and your lower back. The goal for all of these, this is your hardest move, I would say, of the day, is maintaining that lower back, pressing down as your legs lower. So in other words, if there's even a millimeter of space in that lower back, if I can get my fingernail in there, it's wrong because you're putting too much strain on the lower back. I like to have my head up. That also helps me lock in this position. And again, if you're not really confident that you're doing it right, just shorten the move, right? Turn it into just this little reverse crunch. Deep. You want to think about squeeze. That should be that deep pelvic floor. Lower abdominals. Again, lower abdominals, we say lower abdominals because you're going to get that pulling as the legs get away from you, right? So there's a lot going on there. I don't know that it's necessarily lower abdominals, but you're going to feel that pull, that bottom part, right? Like that 8-pack area, that lower part, because you have to control the lengthening. Let's do a few more here. And we've got that glute move. I told you, we're finishing with a little bit of glutes. 3, 2, 1, relax. All right, if you've got your weights on the hips, you're gonna come into that glute bridge, digging in with my heels, knees at about 90. If you don't have weights, that's okay. You are still doing a body weight glute bridge. Hinge. So we started off class, and again, I have my full body strength class. Join me if you're not sure how to do your squats and your deadlifts, etc. I'll go over that a lot more. But for this class, a little bit of a hybrid core and strength, full body. This is your hinge. So I want you to think of this as a straight hinge up, glutes. This is not a spinal, we're not rolling up into our bridge like we do in some other classes, like Pilates or whatever. This is a hinge. Glute, hip extension. This should feel like your deadlift. Hinge, coming from the hips, straight up, shoot them up. That's it. So we start off class with our squat pattern. This is our hinge pattern. Again, targeting lower body strength. You need both. You need to be able to do both in life. Squat and hinge. Use that booty. You should feel your booty and your hamstrings if you're doing this one right. A little bit of the lower back, mostly glutes, mostly hams. Last few here. Then we're gonna come back into those ankle grabs. 2 more. 1 more. All right, let's speed through round 2. We're gonna pick up the pace now that you guys understand what we're doing. Obliques, target, hit it, let's go. Tuck the chin, reach. Round 2. 3 rounds, we got 3 rounds. 3 rounds, 3 moves. That's pretty much every class that I do. And again, you don't need a lot of core work to get more defined abs or more stability for your lower back. You just need to have it consistent, right? So a couple times a week, not very long. 10, 20 minutes, maybe, right? We'll finish off class with a little bit of stretching, and then that's it for today. Reach, 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 reach. Keep going. We've got that more challenging lower abdominal reverse crunch coming up next. Again, thinking about this same position here. My lower back is stuck to the floor here. That needs to happen with that next move. Same position here. In 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Weights are optional if you want that reverse crunch. If not, and you just want to stay focused here, sometimes holding on to the weight actually helps you, gives you some stability. It gives you something to kind of hold on to and lock in better. So I would suggest, even though it is more advanced in the sense that, well, I'm working my upper body maybe a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit easier, gives you something to hold on to. And again, lifting the head up for a few will also help. The further away your arms go from your body, it's gonna be a lot harder, right? So that's gonna add much more of that pull versus here, right? Harder, also harder on the shoulders, right? Here, easier to just get locked in. So a few more. Then we've got our glute bridge. Again, glute biased bridge. There's other variations of bridge, but we're doing our hinge, our basic glute focused bridge. 4, 3, 2, 1. Weights optional, you don't need them. Highly suggested though. If you've got 2 weights, you can put 1 on each hip bone. Not always the most comfortable, but works kind of like your hip thruster. You want those weights right on that hip or below, kind of more on that like fleshy part of the hips. Exhale, squeeze. Every time I'm Exhaling as I squeeze. Emphasis, activate glutes. Squeeze every time. Get your body and mind connected. This is a glute-based bridge. We've got one more round. Finish strong. Let's go. Butt should be feeling this, right? Still a solid option. If you don't have a gym access, I would highly suggest you add these glute bridges into your routine, right? You got your deadlifts, your squats, your lunges, glute bridges, hip thrusters. Stick to the basics. 2 more. 1 more. All right, done with that. Last round. Let's go. Ankle grabs. Got to make time for a little bit of stretching. Let's speed through. Hopefully you're done with class. You're going to feel sore in a good way. Like, oh, I worked my abs today, not lower back, right? Really, what are we targeting? These are pretty targeted exercises. You should feel exactly where you're trying to work. And again, I always tell my clients or my patients or my athletes, you know, some exercises just kind of feel right to you. You're like, oh, when I always do these ones, I get my obliques. Great, hone in on that, right? It's about getting that connection, right? You need your brain to get that input. Glute bridges, I always feel my butt. Great. We're all different. We're all built differently. We have different physiology. We have different body types. So kind of figuring out what works for you. Again, I'm just the guide. You don't need to absolutely do it the way I'm doing it. I always tell you, kind of go with what's working with your body and then refine that over time. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. But I'm definitely giving you ideas, right? So if you like some of them, keep them, add them in. Check out some of my other workouts, some of the other playlists. Again, tons, lower body exercises, leg day ideas, glute workouts, core workouts, ab workouts, obliques, lower back, etc. Control, number 1 here, lower back supported. I do not want your lower back feeling strained. If you are feeling that, you're doing it wrong. I do not want people getting injured with this move. This is advanced, right? So if you don't have it down and you're losing it, shorten it. Just come into this little squeeze, just like this. Safety first, right? We don't want to get fancy if we don't have the form down correctly. Last few here. Let's finish off with our glute bridges and then we're going to stretch. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Glute bridge. Let's go. Last move. Squeezing those glutes every time I'm digging in the heels, driving those hips up, straight up, right? Hinge, squeeze, squeeze. Last few here. Finishing strong. Got our stretch. And that's it for today. Last few here. And lift. And lift. In 4. In 3. In 2. And 1. Drop the weights to your sides. We are done with that. Hug the knees into your chest. Give that lower back nice, relaxing stretch. Hug the knees and rock the knees side to side. Give your lower back a nice little massage. This should feel nice, mellow on the lower back. Let the left leg extend long. Shake that leg out. Hug that right knee into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Roll the ankles and the toes around. Get those feet moving, supple toes, ankles. That is your base of support. Keep those feet healthy and happy. Grab behind that right thigh. Extend that leg up. Ooh, big hamstring. Stretch. Flex the toes and point. Flex the toes and point. Also a nice little sciatica stretch. Got a little bit of sciatica. This is a nice little way to glide that nerve, release some tension. Or if you just got tight hamstrings, do a few like this and point. And point. 1 more. And then bring that knee across your body. Getting a nice little stretch in the glutes, maybe lower back. If you rotate more off the mat, a little bit into that lower back, open that right arm out. at an angle. This should just feel like a nice stretch, right? So find that angle and that position on you that feels right. It may not look exactly the way I'm doing it. That's okay. Just kind of figure out where you need to be. Maybe you're rotated more off the mat. Maybe your knees higher. Let the head be relaxed. Shake it out. Release tension. Release the tension. Focus on the breath. Slowing down the breath. Every breath should get you a little bit deeper into that stretch, a little bit deeper into that rotation. Inhale through the nose, and exhale it out through the mouth. Sinking deeper into that stretch. Just noticing where you feel any tight spots, any tension, let it go. And then come back to center when you're ready for a figure four stretch. Nice little hip opener. You can leave it here. You can also reach through for thread the needle, right? Whatever feels right for you. Maybe pigeon pose. Roll the shoulders. Again, release any tension. Shake the head side to side. Slow down the breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Let all that breath out. Last breath here. Unwrap that right leg, shake it out, let it go. Hug that left knee in, give it a good squeeze, 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 rolling the toes, rolling the ankles around, move them around, move them around. Hamstrings and flex. And point it down. Again, a little bit of a sciatic nerve glide as well. So you got a little bit of sciatica. Kind of an easy one to add in. See if that relieves any of that tension. Again, all this stuff should always be feeling better when you're done, never worse, right? That ain't it. We always want to leave, do these stretches feeling nice, release of tension, release of pressure, always feeling better. If you are not feeling that, then that's not the right one for you. Last few here. One more just like this. Flex and point. Bring that knee across your body. Same thing, other side. Open that left arm out. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable. Just shaking it out, letting it go. We are almost done with class. We really have just one more move. We're gonna finish in seated with our seated stretch, just focusing on that nice tall spine posture like we started off class with. Breathing into this left side. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it out. One more. And then figure four, left side. We are almost done with class. Release all the tension from your mind, from your world, from your body. Let it go. This is just your moment for you. Reaching through for thread the needle, roll the shoulders, breathe, slow down the breath, calm yourself down. Inhale through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. Last breath here. And then we're going to finish in seated. And that's it for today. Last breath. And then when you're ready, unwrap that left leg, windshield wiper the knees side to side, roll yourself onto your side, coming up into seated. You can sit however you want. I like to sit cross-legged. You don't need to. That's up to you. Sitting up nice and tall. I want you to just finish with that nice tall spine, right? So tucking the chin in, ears over shoulders, shoulders back, right? This is our alignment. We want to take this through the rest of our day. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale it out. One more time, crown of the head to the ceiling, tall spine, get some length. Inhale. And exhale it out. That is it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you got something good out of class. Take care of your bodies. I will see you next time for live class. Subscribe to the channel. Join me next time. See you guys later.